Hi, how are you?
Hello, well,
Hi.
thank you. Well, I mean, for me personally, we've seen plenty of narratives that look at that. We've seen documentaries, we've seen films, we've seen TV shows, all of which touch on that. But sometimes, because there is almost an over-indexing on that, you could be mistaken in thinking that's all there was. And people were living very full lives, full of joy and laughter and whimsy and aspiration and ambition. And that to me is what I love about this show. If you're a white person walking the planet, you have so much context with film and television in terms of what the existence of white people may have been from time immemorial. That's just not our experiences as black people. There are areas where we over-index: criminality, slavery, struggle. And so the fact that this show is rooted in the reality of a person's experience, I think is also incredibly validating, because Paul Hunter, who is one of the co-creators of our show and who also is the person whose youth this is based off of, him growing up in the San Fernando Valley in the 60s and 70s, the reality is there were not civil rights marches or, a lot of those things. Of course they were happening. Of course black people were aware of them. But in the San Fernando Valley, that was not their everyday experience. And certainly as Paul tells it, and I think that context is very useful, because to be perfectly honest, that can be a reason why the audience leans out as opposed to leans in, especially when we're not giving them something fresh and new in terms of the experiences, not just of black people, of people throughout the world, and being able to transpose our own lives onto.
Paul was always there, not necessarily to limit, but to guide, to remind us of the people that these characters were based off of. Myself playing a version of his mother, David playing a version of his father, and Jahi and Evan playing a version of himself and his brother. It was a roadmap, but it wasn't a blueprint. And so it allowed for us as actors and artists to take this journey with these characters and to build off of what was on the page. And we were able to have fun and to explore the relationship. We did photo shoots in order to have in the house, but the way that we did that photo shoot, it felt like this family. Actually, I have Evan's 6'12" self on my shoulders doing piggyback rides, and everyone is like, "No, what?" And there was the moment where Paul said, "That is exactly what this woman would do. That is how she would relate to these boys." And it was natural to me because of what was on the page, of what I knew we were going to be creating. And so when David and I were able to work together, the things that he would come up with, the dance classes that we took in order to have these moments that happened on screen, but they also helped us build a history and an ease of language, so that so much did not need to be spoken. I think that is what you probably feel, and we hope that audiences feel when they see these relationships play out.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.